The sheer fury of his predation made him a force of nature, and as such, coincidence seems to have bestowed occult symbolism on him in the form of the number 33, his personal escort of and photo op with the First Lady at that time, Rosalind Carter, and his U.S. Secret Service pin. Gacy's middle name is a Twilight language code word for the confusion of identity, especially in terms of sexual androgyny. The name Wayne turns up in a lot of switch-hitter alchemy that I view as an anthropomorphic microcosm of a larger process. About John Wayne Gacy. Secret Societies and Psychological Warfare by Michael A. Hoffman II. Excellent, excellent book. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. There are a couple of things that I would like to talk about very quickly, news items that are of interest to me. First of which is the Pakistan attack that is supposedly going to be coming in summer on Waziristan and South Waziristan in Pakistan, designed to go after the supposed Taliban and the extremists. and this, in my view, is, and it's echoed in the news stories about this as well, is a sharp increase in military activity in Pakistan, and I can see the United States being more heavily involved in this particular action because this is going to be a major operation in Pakistan. So whatever there has been as far as you know, these supposed extremists and radical elements in Pakistan, and the supposed Taliban and the supposed Al-Qaeda and all the other supposed terrorist groups that are supposedly located over there, this is going to be a very a major operation, and this could be the make or break deal for Pakistan. And what we do and how we're involved is going to be a big deal for this country. So this is going to have profound implications down the road. So keep your eyes on Pakistan and what's going on over there, because with Waziristan and with the so-called... Now, let me make one thing clear. This entire fucking scenario and everything that's being played out over there is a fucking psyop. The whole fucking thing, okay? The Taliban, Al-Qaeda, the extremist elements, the tribal areas, all of this kind of stuff is being painted in a certain way by the media and by our own administration here in the United States as falling in line with a certain fucking plan, a formula, whatever. And this is all playing out according to a script that we'll never see or understand. And even these people, these groups, these extremists are all mostly a figment of someone's imagination. Now sure, there are terrorist groups out there. I'm sure we can't dismiss everything as being a figment of the government's imagination or something that they created specifically out of thin air to solve a particular purpose or crisis. But by the same token, a vast majority of what we're being told is nothing but spoon-fed fucking garbage and lies. Okay? But in this particular instance, I see that things are coming to a head, and this is where it's going, into Pakistan, and this is where the focus needs to be right now, because this is going to show the future of where the U.S. is going, how our warmongering administration is going to continue throughout the rest of this year and on into the future. Okay? And Karzai in Afghanistan is trying to pull his resources and get his power shit together over there. and trying to enforce a little bit of stability in Afghanistan while all this shit's going on in Pakistan. So this is a major focus right now, because this is going to show where the U.S. intends to go, what our intentions are, and what I mean by our is our military, our administration, the warmongering war hawks that are still in charge of our country. Obama, Mr. Peacenik, apparently just as much in love with war as everybody who ever came before him. So keep your eyes on Pakistan and Waziristan and the supposed extremist elements and the tribal people that are there that are supposedly so anti-government and everything else, because this is a microcosm of the war on terror as it is being played out in the grand scheme of the world and the media. So keep your eyes on it, because this is a microcosm of what you're going to see over the next several years. So whatever happens there is going to be what's going to happen elsewhere. So this is going to be played out. The media is going to fine-tune it. It's all going to be packaged, put together, and that's going to be what you're fed. So be prepared for it by keeping your eye on what's going on there throughout the spring and summer in Pakistan. Now, last minute approval of GM's proposed bankruptcy, which will take place on Monday. The U.S. has approved it, the bondholders have agreed to it, and I am left with the distinct impression that this entire thing is so fucked up that I can't even express the amount of anger and frustration that I have towards GM, towards the U.S. administration, and towards the unions, because they gave up a huge fucking bargaining chip whenever they agreed to take on a great deal of the burden themselves prior to going into bankruptcy. I would have said that they would have had a better shot had they went into bankruptcy and enforced their demands on the company that way, rather than giving concessions and then letting them go to bankruptcy, which in effect is going to render a lot of what they did totally fucking useless. But where does this all come down for me? With GM expanding into fucking China so that they can build more cars over there with cheaper labor, closing plants in this country, shutting down dealerships, and having a tremendous fucking negative impact on this country and the people who live here. The people that brought up this fucking company from nothing and made it one of the greatest companies in the world. They're going to expand into China, and they're going to bring their product back here and sell it to us. Sell it to the people that they put out of fucking business. And the U.S. government, Obama, going along with this, siding with this, and thinking this is a great fucking plan. Here's your people's fucking champion. Fuck you, Obama. I'm sick of your fucking shit, because all you've done is cram down the same fucked up bullshit we've had to deal with from Bush in the last year or two of his presidency, whenever the economy started to go sour. When is anybody going to get a fucking clue and realize that what you're doing is fucking wrong? Well, I have news for you. They know exactly what they're doing. What they're doing is fucking you and fucking me and screwing all of us. And that's exactly what they have planned. They're doing exactly what they want to do. They know exactly where they're going. They have a plan. It just doesn't fucking include you or me. And I'm pissed off at GM's unions for settling for this bullshit. Same as I am at Chrysler. Because this shit is just a fucking total sellout. And the workers at GM should be fucking pissed. I know I would be. I'm mad because they allowed this to happen. And because the administration allowed this to go through. When this is supposed to be a pro-labor president? Give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. Sell everything off, GM, go through your fucking bankruptcy, and then expand in China. Hire people for like $2 a day to build your fucking cars. Bring them back over here to sell them, because this is where the big fucking market is. And tell your workers, go fuck yourself. Tell your dealers, go fuck yourself. Tell everybody that brought you up and made you what you were when you were the greatest automaker in the fucking world. Fuck you, I don't need you anymore. Yeah, thanks a lot, GM. Good way to pay back everybody that ever did anything to make you what you were when you were at your greatest. It's a crying fucking shame. Thank you. Good night.